Hello! So I have arrived in London. As you can see, I'm in my hotel room. I'm using my mic right now so I can talk at a lower volume because this hotel is not very soundproof and it makes me nervous to talk out loud. I keep hearing people outside my door and yeah, I just don't want to talk too loudly. But yeah, today's my first day in London. It's actually almost over already. It's 4:30, so not really. But yeah, I've already done some things. I did the basic stuff. I went to the supermarket, bought some water and stuff. I went to the London Graphic Centre, which is like a big stationery store. And they have like so many things there. There's like this giant wall with like all of markers and stuff. I didn't buy any markers because they are expensive and I have markers at home. But I did buy this bullet journal. I want to try bullet journaling again. This one is smaller than the ones I previously had, so I can carry it around in my bag and like journal whenever I want to, which is cool. And I also picked this really gorgeous red color. This was actually the last one that was left that was dotted. They did have more in this color, but they were lined, and obviously for a bullet journal I'm gonna need dots, so I'm very excited to start using this. I'm gonna like start actually tracking it in 2026, which this video will go up in 2026. It's still 2025 when I'm filming this, but yeah, I'm excited to set this up. Maybe I'll film a little bit of that, I'm not sure yet. And I also bought like some pencils and markers to like get the basics done. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today. I also went into a bookstore, but they didn't have anything that I was looking for. I am gonna go to more bookstores, probably tomorrow. I'm gonna visit a lot of bookstores. However, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to books because I do have an e-reader, which is what I read most things on. And when I buy physical books, I need it to be a hardcover, which I feel like are hard to find these days, which is kind of crazy to me because why does everyone prefer paperbacks? Because I don't. I need a hardcover. But yeah, the store that I went to only had paperbacks. They had like maybe a handful of hardcovers in the entire store. So yeah, that was a little bit of a fail, but I'm excited to visit some more bookstores tomorrow, I think. Later today I am going to do a Christmas light store, which I'm very excited about, and I will of course film a little bit of that, so I'll see you then.
Right here we have got the Vaudeville Theatre there to the right, showing the play Six, which is about the 6 wives of Henry VIII.
What the dog doing?
LEDs with 5,000 stars.
Good morning, it is the next day, and on today's schedule we have a couple of fun things. I'm gonna start by getting a lunch because it's almost 12. I slept in today because I didn't have the best night. Last night this hotel is not very soundproof, and the people above me were stomping like crazy. And then when they were finally done, I think the people next to me moved in at like 1:30 a.m. and they were talking really loudly, so at 2 a.m. I gave a little knock on the wall, and I think they got the hint because it was finally quiet at 2 a.m. But then I got woken up at like 7 by somebody moving all the furniture around, or at least that's what it sounded like. So yeah, I had a bit of a rough night, which is why I'm a bit late today. But we still have a lot of fun things to do today. Like I said, I'm gonna start by getting a lunch, and after that I'm gonna visit a couple bookstores. Waterstones for sure. I also want to visit Hatchards, I think it's pronounced. And in the evening I have a musical planned, Starlight Express, which I'm very excited about. I've seen a lot of it on TikTok, so I'm really excited to see that. So yeah. So I just got back from Waterstones. My hair looks really messy because of the wind and stuff, but we're just gonna ignore that. And I bought a couple of books, so I wanted to do a little book haul. Okay, that works, I think. This is my bag. This contains the whole. It's on the floor because it's too big to fit on the table. I have it next to me now. In case you are unfamiliar with this Waterstones, it is huge. It has 6 floors, which is absolute insanity. I bought 5 books, and I just realized they're all the same height except for one. That's interesting. Anyway, so the first one I picked up was this one. And I have a couple of rules for when I buy books, and that is, first one, it needs to be a hardcover. Which this one is, as you can see. I just prefer reading hardcover. So yeah, this is the first book I got. The person in store pronounced it a different way than I thought it was pronounced, and now I'm unsure of what it is. I thought it was, I actually don't remember what I thought it was, but I think the person in store said catabasis. I don't even remember what I thought it was, but that was what the person in store said, catabasis. I don't know if that's accurate, but yeah, I'm very excited to read this. So that's book number 1. And then, so all these books have very different like aesthetics to them, which is kind of funny to me, because the next one is bright green, and it's this one. It's called Girl Dinner, which, first of all, amazing title. And I had found this one online before, and I read the synopsis, and I already put it in my like TBR list of books that I wanted to read. Did not plan on getting a physical copy, but I saw this and I was like, you know what, that's fun. And also it is signed, which is pretty cool. They had a bunch of signed copies in store, so it is a signature. That is the second book. The next one is this one, for which the like paper cover thingy is a little bit messed up on the bottom here, but it isn't too bad. I actually, whoa, hello, I am here. What? I actually had a different copy of this first, but there the like paper lining was ripped in a place, so I asked a worker if they had another copy, and they did, which is this one. And this one just seems like a nice, like, easy read, because the ones I picked up are pretty much all fantasy except for this one, I think. Then this one has such a pretty cover, like, oh my god. I kind of just picked it up on a whim, but it was half off. They had a lot of books that were half off, which was very nice. And I don't even remember what this is about, but yeah, another like fantasy book, I believe. It doesn't say. Sometimes it says it. Oh, it's also, wait, it's signed. I didn't even realize that. Hello. Oh my god. It is. It has a signature. Look at that. Also, sprayed edges. The previous one I showed also had a sprayed edge. I just think it's really pretty. I really like it. How many pages does this have? I don't know. Including probably acknowledgements, because most books have them. 365. That's not too bad. I picked up Alchemized, which also was half off, by the way, so it was only £12.50 in store, but that book is thick, and I know myself, and I will probably stop reading it at some point because it's so thick. Maybe I will read it in the future, but I decided not to get it for that reason. So yeah, that's this one. This one is so pretty. And then lastly, this is the only one that's a bit smaller, and this actually is a very special book too, because this book is 2 books. It has 2 sides, which I think is so cool. And on the sprayed edge you can see it as well. This side is blue, and then this is purple, and there's little gradients, and I think it's just so cool. And honestly, I don't know if you're supposed to read one side before the other, so I need to look into that. But yeah, basically it's basically from 2 perspectives. So one side is from her perspective and the other side is from his perspective, which is really cool. Yeah, that's my haul. And I decided to get a bag with it because It was pretty, and it says Waterstones on it. I can't show it because it's too big, but it says Waterstones on it, and that is my haul. And I'm very excited to read all these books. So the last thing on my schedule for today is to see Starlight Express, which I'm very excited about. I'm not going to take my camera with me because you're not supposed to film theater anyway. I will film like the end that you're allowed to film, what's it called? The like bows and stuff on my phone probably, so I will insert that clip in here. But other than that, I'm not planning on doing anything there. It is quite far away. I need to travel like 40 minutes to get there, not including the walking time to the station, so I need to leave in a bit actually. But yeah, I'm very excited to see that. So it is once again the next day, and on today's schedule we have Hyde Park, which I'm very excited for. I almost forgot to go to Hyde Park because it just totally slipped my mind, but I'm very glad I remembered. So I have tickets to enter from 3 to 4. In between those times I need to enter, and then I can stay however long I want, so that's pretty cool. And then in the evening, since it is New Year's Eve, although it isn't evening yet, but I don't know what people call it in English. Yeah, I got last minute tickets to see the fireworks because I found some good decent tickets on TicketSwap, so I'm also very excited for that. I'm in the white zone, which I believe is Westminster Bridge, so I'm very excited for that. Yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm also gonna see if I can get a hat anywhere because I think it'll be pretty cold this evening. I just checked and it's gonna be 0 degrees, so that's nice. So yeah, that's on the schedule for today.